Welcome back to another edition of Picks, Props, and Predictions. My name's Rick Zamprin. If you are not familiar with this feature under the umbrella of the Fifth Quarter Show on YouTube, well, welcome aboard. This is a weekly look. Every Thursday, I make a pick, a proposition, and a prediction connected to the world of sports. And of course, this being the Fifth Quarter Show, we're focusing on the Hamilton Tiger Cats and the Canadian Football League. And as always, this is for entertainment purposes only. Please play responsibly, and just as importantly, know your limits. Last week, pretty successful week on Triple P. 2 wins, 0 losses. 7-3 overall since we started this. Last week, I had Hamilton plus 6.5 in BC. Was not looking good in the first half, that is for sure. But this team not only covered, but won outright, which was awesome. Also got correct the Bo Levi Mitchell prop on 1.5 TDs, over 1.5 TDs, and he went over that as well with 2 touchdown passes. Now, from the prediction standpoint from last week, Bo Levi Mitchell 641 yards away from reaching 5,000. And with 3 games to go, starting Friday night against Winnipeg, I think that is definitely attainable. 641 yards in 3 weeks, absolutely, definitely attainable. So let's get to the pick, and we're going to focus on the Tiger Cats and the Blue Bombers. It is a heavyweight tilt, and I say that not based on these teams' records overall, Winnipeg 9-6, Hamilton 6-9, but based on the fact that these are the 2 hottest teams in the CFL. You have the Bombers on a 7-game heater, and the Tiger Cats have won 4 in a row. They are undefeated come Labor Day and beyond. Undefeated in the Boverall era, ever since Bo Levi Mitchell. And we talked about it, I talked to him at practice the other day about him donning the Boveralls. He was doing stuff with the offensive line. And he was like, you know what, it would be funny if I went to the next game, that being the Labor Day Classic, wearing overalls. And they said, yeah, go for it. And so he bought a pair of overalls, and he wore it before the game, and they ended up winning. And he's like, well, I got to keep doing this. And he has been. And for 3 games after that Labor Day win, it's been win, win, win with the Boveralls. So the power of the Boveralls has this team believing that they can do something special. So back to the pick. We have the Tiger Cats and the Blue Bombers. Last time they met was way back in week 12. And Hamilton gave Winnipeg everything that they can handle and then some. But it was the Blue Bombers on a last-minute touchdown that came out on top 26-23. Since then, Hamilton hasn't lost. Winnipeg has already clinched a playoff spot. And while they still have the West Division title still up for grabs, in which they want to clinch that as soon as possible, they're definitely going to want to continue their winning streak as well. I'm going to go with Hamilton plus 4.5. It's paying minus 128 most sports books. Hamilton could win this game. Winnipeg has not won a regular season game in Hamilton since 2017. Won the Grey Cup in Hamilton in 2021, but I'll go with the Tiger Cats plus 4.5 at home. I think they've been, mismanaged by odds makers over the last little while. Let's get to the prop, and we're going to focus on Brady Oliveira, who has been almost as hot as the Blue Bombers as of late. He leads the CFL with 1,107 rushing yards. He's cracked 100 yards in a game 5 times this season, including 120 against the Tiger Cats back in week 12. His over-under for this game is 80.5 rushing yards. I'm going to play it a little safer, and I'm going to go Brady Oliveira 60-plus rushing yards. And why am I playing a little bit of safe? Because I think if the Ticats get out to a quick lead, and apart from last week's game in BC, this team has been getting out to big leads or early leads, forcing the opposition to be somewhat one-dimensional. Now, listen, Winnipeg's going to run the ball pretty much regardless of what the score is because they have a beast in Brady Oliveira. But I'll play it safe and get to 60-plus yards for Brady as the prop. And the prediction today is based on outstanding rookie Shemar Bridges. Now, he's been ruled out for Friday's clash against the Bombers with a quad injury. He is 6 catches away from tying Darrell Walker's rookie record for receptions in a season. Now, if he is able to play in the last 2 games, I predict that Bridges is going to get at least 7 grabs to break the mark. These things sort of happen. When you're this close, the quarterback tries to get you the football more often than not. And think about this as well. If the Ticats in the last couple of weeks are eliminated from the playoffs, some of those personal records or landmarks that players were trying to achieve before the season, if they're so close, they're going to teammates are going to help them out to get there. So I will say that Shemar Bridges will break the rookie record for receptions in a single season. Okay, NFL rapid fire picks, as we usually do here on Picks, Props, and Predictions. Last week, great rebound week. 12 wins, 4 losses, 43-21 on the season. Not too bad. Week 5, rapid fire NFL winners. Starting with the Thursday nighter, Tampa Bay. I have New England, reluctantly, beating Miami. Minnesota, Chicago, Jacksonville, Houston, Baltimore, Washington, Denver, San Francisco, Seattle, Green Bay, Dallas on Sunday night, and Kansas City keeps on rolling on Monday. It's a big one this week. Ticats, Blue Bombers, Friday night, Tim Hortons Field, under the lights, 7 o'clock kickoff. The fifth quarter show on YouTube will erupt on that platform at around 10 p.m., depending on when the game ends. I'm hoping we're celebrating a fifth win in a row. That would be phenomenal. Hand the Blue Bombers what would be, I think, a big loss and a demoralizing one, especially if it's a epic performance by Hamilton. Fingers crossed that this thing keeps rolling. The power of the Boveralls continues to go, and the Tiger Cats get some help, which they did not get last weekend. Get some help in the standings when it comes to chasing Toronto, who's on the bye this week, and maybe even getting that crossover playoff spot. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for subscribing and telling your friends to do so as well. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. We'll talk to you after the game Friday night. Oski Wee Wee.